Hey guys, Tyraco here. Today I want to jump in here and go over the Elegaius Champion Fragment Summon event. Alright, so we recently got news about the actual information as far as the fragment event goes, where the fragments are going to be distributed, so on and so forth. So let's jump in here and look. There is one key piece of information I do want to show you, which is pretty interesting. I want to go over which events I'm going to focus on my regular account as well as my free-to-play account, because I do have a free-to-play series going on as well. So I want to make sure you guys have the best chance, and I'm going to go over even the champion and see if you guys even really think he's worth getting. Obviously, when you can get a legendary for just completing stuff you're going to do in the game anyways, it's typically worth it, but it may be a little bit difficult and you will have to invest some time. I do have a graph I'm going to show you guys in just a few minutes of a chart that I made that hopefully will allow you to better see it on paper as to when you should be trying for certain events, so on and so forth. But the thing I wanted to show you is in this tournament section. So it has the tournaments here, and it says each tournament will also award an extra 5 fragments to players who place first and second on the leaderboard. So I'm going to assume that's within your group and not the global leaderboard. That'd be pretty insane if they gave the global leaderboard players only 5 fragments. So assuming it's within your group, you have a chance to gain 5 extra fragments. So if you're going with a free-to-play guide, you may be able to get the champion a little bit quicker. So the free-to-play guide that I made is literally just 100 points. And if you get it quicker, awesome. If not, this is what I'm going to be focusing on. And this is what I believe is probably achievable. Obviously, we don't know the exact amounts of points you have to get for each area. So like how many champion chase points you need to earn 5 fragments and so on and so forth. We just know the ones that are released as of right now. Now it says each person can get to 160 champion fragments in total if they can top the leaderboards. So you can choose which events and tournaments to take part in. So total, you can get 160 champion fragments. Obviously, it's not very high. It's a decent amount. That is a decent amount over. But if you miss one of these early champion events or tournaments, you're gonna be in a kind of a bad spot, to be honest. Like if you don't plan on winning any leaderboard positions, you really need to make sure you're completing these events or following as closely along with the guide as you possibly can. So in case you're here just for that guide, let me go ahead and pull this up so we can go ahead and show you this so you can go ahead and get started. Let me get it shared real quick. All right, here we go. And then let me actually zoom out on this a little bit just so it's not taking up so much. Hopefully you guys can see this pretty well. It's still not showing everything. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, let me I'll just make this full screen for you. Okay, so here is the graph. It's not absolutely beautiful. It's a decent graph, but here it is. Here's the breakdown. So this is just the points, everything broken down. This is not the free-to-play. I have the free-to-play version down here. And what I'm going to focus on and when I'm going to focus on, as you can see, it's broken down everywhere. I have this highlighted because this is where the most events seemed to overlap and where you're going to really want to focus on, and that is November 1st to November 5th. This is where you're going to get most of your points. Now, this is another tip I want to give you. Make sure whenever you're doing the artifact enhancement events, so on and so forth, that you're not actually claiming this energy until you plan on using it. This is more so important for like free-to-play players, but if you're getting this energy and you're getting this energy down here, maybe try to save it until you get to the point where you need to do dungeon divers. So we have these 2 days right now, depending on when you're watching this video. Try to get to the point where you're doing dungeon divers, champion training. Save that energy for then, so you actually have a better chance, especially as a free-to-play player. You have a better chance of actually completing that. But you need to expect to set aside some time between these days really to focus in. Obviously, you're going to have to do this dungeon diver event over here, most likely as well. And you can do this artifact enhancement, but majority of the points you'll be getting is within this little green outline circle. So November 1st to November 5th, which I believe is just next week, right? November 1st, so this Sunday until next Thursday. But during those days, you really want to make sure you're really focusing on events, because if you miss something during that time, you're really going to set yourself in a bad position. Now, this is just the overall events. I'm going to be trying to get them as quickly as possible, so I will be summoning my Sacred Shards actually tonight on stream. I may or may not do them all, which my stream starts at 11 p.m. and it goes until 3 a.m. Eastern time. So if you'd like to come over there and watch me summon those, feel free. We also have a giveaway drawing tonight on stream. So the giveaway account that was announced a few days ago for reaching 1,000 subscribers, I will be drawing for that on stream tonight, guys. So definitely come over there and check it out. If you're watching this video on October 30th or even the 31st, I'm probably live. I'll leave it in the comment section below. I'll try to when I'm live, but hey, just click the Twitch link, come on over. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, join the Discord, all that kind of good stuff, guys. I appreciate all the support. We have 7 sacreds. I'll get into the reason why I'm summoning in the next video, but it is very beneficial for my account. I don't recommend this to everybody because it's not a 2x event. It's not necessarily amazing, but for me, it's a perfect time to summon. That's not the point of this video, though. Let's get back to the point of the video. Let's scroll down here, and this is the free-to-play focus, okay? So as some of you may or may not know, I do have a free-to-play series going on right now as well. Obviously, for this champion, you only need 100 fragments, so I want to try to get 100 fragments as easily as possible. Now, what I've done is I've written down over here what I'll have to do in each of these tournaments. Everything other than the champion summons, the summon rushes, the champion chase, those two, everything else is free-to-play friendly, I guess, if that's possible. Like, you will have to be fairly smart with managing your energy, like not blowing all of your energy too soon. Maybe for the champion training, since you need to save for this one down here, maybe level a bunch of champions during this, get all your fragments, and then maybe rank them up during this one. I don't know why this is right here. I guess it didn't get moved down. That's not right. That's better. So maybe level during this champion training and then rank up during this. But whatever you want to do, you make sure you're set up the best way possible and not just blowing all your resources right here and not having anything for this next little section. While most of it is in this section, there is some outside of it. What I'll say with my free-to-play account is I will be working on partially completing the summon rush. The reason why I said I can get about 1,000 points, which is 15 fragments, is because the 1,000 points isn't too difficult to get necessarily. I mean, you get 1,070, all right? So we get 10 here, 5 there, perfect. You get 500 from a sacred, 120 from a void, so on and so forth. Now, this is a very important thing. You do want to make sure you're saving your mystery shards. Obviously, I have 1,100 mystery shards. Well, this is on my non-free-to-play account. I was wondering, like, what the heck? I got that much on my free-to-play account? My free-to-play account, though, I'll be gaining a sacred shard, so it's 500 points instantly right off the bat. I believe I'm completing my dailies very soon, which, crap, it's... Oh, I already did those, actually. It's 7:23 p.m. as I'm recording this video, so... we got 30 minutes until the day resets. I should be good. But I'll be getting my sacred shard there. I'll have 2 sacred shards, so it'll be pretty easy for me to complete that on my free-to-play account. But you really want to make sure you're opening your mysteries, whatever it takes to get to that 1,000 points, because you're really going to want to get at least this. If not, it's going to make it pretty difficult for you when it comes to actually completing this event, because you're going to have to start looking into the tournaments and actually placing, most likely, because 15 fragments is quite a bit, and it's not very easy to earn them that many from anywhere else. Now, you can go ahead and push and get this one, which is another 10, which will definitely set you in a good spot, but that's not what we're talking about, because that's more of a paid strategy, in my opinion. And then the other one is a champion chase tournament down here. I want to get 5 points from this. Now, there is, as you can see up here, champion chase, there's a total of 15 points available. If you win your bracket, you're most likely a whale, because there's probably going to be a lot of people getting a lot of points here. But you can also get 10 more fragments. So if you want to save some of your shards from this first one until next one, do that. A little insider tip. There most likely will be a 2x sacred shard, a double chance next weekend, which this lands November 6th, which November 6th is next weekend. So most likely next weekend we'll have 2x chance on sacreds to summon a legendary. But keep that in mind when you're summoning for this summon rush. You may want to save for them. But if you're free to play, you definitely, and I am definitely going to want to make sure that starting November 1st, I have a good stockpile of energy. Any of your dailies, any of your weeklies, any of your monthly quests, whatever it may be, anything that you're going to get extra energy from, any downtime compensation that you can save it, because you're going to want to make sure you have enough energy to do your champion training. Max that out if possible. I'm going to wait until November 1st to do this, because the dungeon diver lines up with this. There's no reason to start champion training tomorrow, which is Halloween, because if you start it tomorrow, you're going to miss out on some dungeon diver points. But if at all possible, definitely wait to hear. And then dragon, I wouldn't recommend doing this if you're below stage 13. Same thing with ice golem and spiders. I mean, it's going to take a lot longer. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. I would much rather prefer doing stage 16. However, on my free-to-play account, I am able to do stage 13, so that's not too bad. These are not great. Obviously, Ice Golem, if you are having a hard time doing Dragon or Spiders, Ice Golem's the one you're going to want to do. This is the first time I'm ever going to say this, most likely, because Ice Golem, I just don't like it that much. It doesn't give great gear, but it gives 10 fragments. So you are going to get the best chance of getting a decent setup if you complete Ice Golem. Obviously, you can make those up somewhere else, guys, but either way, hopefully this guide helps you out. Feel free to screenshot this if you can. Hopefully it's easy enough to understand. I've broken it down in tournaments and events. Obviously, as you can see, I've given my goals over here on the left side, and it's going to cap me out right at 100 fragments. So hopefully I'll be able to get this champion. Now let's jump in here to the champion and actually take a look at him. I mean, he looks pretty cool, I think. He's definitely a unique champion. Raid does very well with their champion designs. He looks like the guy from Kiss with that long tongue there. I don't know the guy's name. Maybe somebody in here knows it. I can't think of it for whatever reason. But whatever. His A1 attacks one enemy, 25% chance of placing a block cooldown skills for 1 turn. The chance increases by 0.75% for every 1% of the HP this champion's lost. A pretty good ability. I mean, block cooldown, awesome. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Excellent ability. Not like, wow, this is an amazing ability 1, but it's definitely pretty cool. Great uses in arena. Overall, solid uses in a lot of parts of the game. Attacks one enemy is ability 2, and the ability 1, 4 books. Probably worth booking. Debuff chance plus 5%. So you definitely want that, considering this chance is pretty low. I mean, it does increase for every 1% HP this champion loses. He does have an ability that syncs very well with that, pairs very well with that. His ability 2 attacks one enemy, puts the target skills on cooldown. If the enemy team has any duplicates of the target champion, will also put their skills on cooldown. That's pretty cool, especially in like faction wars on Valkyrie waves or any waves that have duplicates of the champion. I mean, in the arena, obvious benefits. People don't run a ton of duplicates in the arena just yet, but on faction wars, there's a lot of duplicates being ran. So having this skill able to put the Valkyries, all the Valkyries abilities on cooldown is extremely helpful, because Valkyries are very, very annoying. In general, any faction war stage, this is going to be very helpful. 3-turn cooldown, this is an excellent champion for faction wars. If you're struggling on undead hordes like I am, this is going to be an excellent guide to help you control the waves in faction wars. His ability 3, attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs. Awesome, very similar to Madame Ceres. A little bit scaled down, obviously, because it's just 2 random buffs, and there's no decreased defense or decreased attack, but very good nonetheless. 75% chance of decreasing all enemies' turn meters by 20%. Very good, very good. Decreases enemy turn meters by a further 0.2% for every 1% HP this champion loses. Very, very cool. So basically, turn meter reduction, block cooldowns, very, very good with controlling waves. I really think this guy's going to be an excellent champion in faction wars. Looks like 8 people already have him. They should be rating him at a 5 in faction wars. I feel like this guy's going to be a very, very good faction war champion, without a doubt. And since faction wars are so important, guys, I think this guy's going to be somebody you really want to get. You got 4 books here, 3 books there, 4 books here, with 11 books total, or 12 books total, I guess. Not awful, not great, but 12 books, pretty good. This one prevents his champion's death. This is what I was saying syncs very well with these other abilities, because he gains increased power basically for every 1% of HP he loses, and this prevents the champion's death and keeps him alive on 1 HP when hit by a fatal hit. I really like this ability. One thing I really like about this ability, outside the fact that it pairs very well with his other abilities, is that it's not places an unkillable buff on this champion. Instead, it says prevents this champion's death, which means your Rhodoses, anybody who ignores unkillable won't be able to go through this. So if you threw him in an arena and a Rhodos does a one-shot him, he's not going to be able to, because this champion will block his death. So that's actually really cool. Now, when it comes to like placing gear on this champion, that would be like Swift Parry, possibly, which does have a chance of activating an unkillable. I'm curious if, I would assume the Swift Parry would probably activate. I'm wondering if it would activate the first time this happens or not. Either way, it could be interesting, something to test out. Definitely worth testing out. I don't know if, let me take a look at this real quick because that could be pretty cool. Does Swift Parry when hit with a fatal hit? Okay, so I don't know if the fatal hit would proc both abilities and put them both on cooldown. If not, that could be really cool because his first one to activate, hopefully, I would prefer the Swift Parry to activate and then the next fatal hit, his ability activate. That would work out pretty good in my opinion. I think that'd be pretty awesome. Let's go back in here and look at him because he has one more thing we didn't read and then we can wrap this up. But either way, I definitely think he's a champion you're going to want to get, especially for Faction Wars. If the skill prevents this champion's death, heals them by 10%, I assume heals them as in this champion, heals them by 10% of their max HP, fills their turn meter by 20%, and places a shield buff on them equal to 30% of their max HP for 2 turns. Will not prevent this champion's death if they are under a heal reduction debuff. Shield, cooldown. Overall, I think Elegaius, if that's how you even say his name, who knows? I don't. But if that's how you say his name, definitely a champion you're going to want to go for. Legendary who's very much worth it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I really think it's going to be a key in the Undead faction war. Right now, I'm super excited considering Undead's something I'm really struggling with. However, I'm not necessarily struggling with support champions in Undead. I'm struggling with damage dealers. So he's not going to help me with the damage dealing department, but he will help me with the support department. And maybe I'll just bring more damage. Who knows? But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this gives you a little bit of direction. Feel free to click one of the videos about to pop up. Feel free to head over to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Tyraku. I'm probably live right now doing some summons that you're not going to want to miss. Like I said, thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.